and it affected her grandchildren. The whole family was affected by choices from her parents, from her grandparents, everything, those consequences, historical trauma, multiplied, came down until a woman had nothing and was thrown in a prison where there was 4 walls, no one to talk to, nothing but just her own voice, because of consequences of the choice, of a decision. So down through history, down through the years, our people made choices that brought consequences upon our tribes, our people. I don't have time to go into all of the scriptural details tonight because, in fact, I have a book that's at the publisher right now. The title of it is Head Cut Off. Head Cut Off, a book about headship. It's about losing your head. It's about losing your head. When you're cut away from the head, if the body's separated from the head, then there's no life. There's no direction. And so down through the ages, that's what happened. We were separated from our headship. Because I want you to know tonight, First Nations people, that in the beginning, from the time of Noah, in the everlasting covenant, in the rainbow, in the skies, First Nations, you have a covenant with God. You have a covenant with Yod-Heh-Wah-Heh, Yahweh, the Eternal One. Hello? That carries consequences, either good or bad. Because God sent the First Nations into all the earth. And He gave them a language. He gave them a culture. He gave them land. And He gave them sovereignty. So those 4 things make you a nation. That's how nations are identified. You have your own language. You have your own culture. You have your own people, your family. You have your own land. And you have sovereignty. Sovereignty is a gift of God. Nobody can give you sovereignty except God. It's the only place it comes from. And that's what you had in the beginning. First Nations flourished, they prospered, they built kingdoms around the world. When we go to Cody, we have, I know 24, there might be 30 First Nations people coming from Taiwan. Yeah, I don't know. They're coming. First Nations people. They're going to share what God is doing them. They're further along than the American First Nations because they've been walking in this for a while. But we have a covenant with Him. And I believe that somewhere along the line, and you can find this in the parable of the nobleman in Luke chapter 19 and Matthew 25, it said a nobleman went into a far country to receive for himself a kingdom. That nobleman was Jesus. He went into all the world to bring His Father's kingdom, His dominion, to all the earth. And He sent His servants. He gave them talents. He gave them money, whatever they needed to accomplish the mission. He said, do your work. Do the work until I come back and make an accounting with you. Amen? And so they went into all of earth to set up his kingdom. But I believe that about the time of the Tower of Babel, I believe this is where it started, that there was a great apostasy that happened worldwide. It wasn't just Babel, it was the whole earth. So what did God do? He removed the original language. If you read the Bible, it's only one language that was removed. And it was the language of creation, the Paleo-Hebrew. He removed that from every nation on earth. So they lost their ability to communicate.